And welcome in, everybody. Very happy Tuesday. Happy League of Legends Day, I guess, as the saying goes. NACE Starleague today, St. Clair College taking on Stony, Brook University. We have Daniil and Jobin here to bring you guys the action, break things down as we see right now. How are we feeling about today?
Oh, I am absolutely ecstatic. As always, anytime our league team takes the stage, it is always a storm. Action, action, action is the name of the game. And in the NACE Starleague Premier Division, it is always the best of the best teams. So I'm very excited to see what everybody has in store for us today. And Jobin, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling pretty good. The league team is definitely one of the most exciting teams to watch, I think. Even though, like, last week they played that Des Moines in the ACL, things didn't necessarily go their way. But, you know, even when they lose in pretty glorious fashion typically. So this team, it's usually, it's very, very exciting nonetheless, win or lose. But, I mean, this team, we have a 7-8-man roster. I believe Maddie is going to be playing the first game in the jungle. I think Alonso might sub in for game 2. We might potentially see a fresh cameo as well. So a couple things to be ironed out early on in the NACE Starleague. This is when you want to kind of try stuff out, right? The competition is tough, but it's early in the season. You're sitting at 3-0, so you have some wiggle room to, try some champs,
sample things,
stuff.
Switch things out, try what works, see what doesn't. And at the end of the day, as long as they're experimenting, trying to get better, trying to see what they can do to maximize their potential, no complaints from me.
Yeah, and League of Legends right now in a pretty much, we're in the same spot, I'll be honest. It's been the same meta for 3 or 4 months. I was trying to dress it up. There's been a couple champion buffs and nerfs. It's going to be pretty much the same game. Milios, still not going to be available. He's that new champ. He's, broken. But moving on from him, because he won't be playing today, we're expecting to see probably a lot of the same picks. We're going to see pretty similar team comps, either that hyper-scaling comp or something super, super aggressive. Honestly,
maybe Aurelion Sol.
Because it's early in the season, I would definitely expect to see some kind of wild card pick out there. So hopefully we see some exciting games because, League of Legends, yes, I love it. Yes, it's very, very fun. But I watched a lot of pro play, and if I have to watch another Vi Sejuani draft, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself.
And as long as our team does not get Tristana picked out for Rock Boom, things should at least be a little interesting. Otherwise, it might just be a quick, 10-minute game.
Yeah, we've seen, that's the thing too. League of Legends right now, the game, you're not really going to see too many 40, 45-minute games. A lot of these games are going to be won mostly in that 15 to 20-minute mark. So
decided by the bottom lane, really.
Yeah, to be honest, top lane right now, respectfully, no, talk to me at 14 minutes when you can unleash teleport for a dragon fight or something.
We've seen it.
To be fair, top lane has traditionally been kind of that, let those two guys duke it out solo. If the jungler goes up there, classless move, especially ganking early on. But usually, we're going to see Ricky probably playing that weak side top lane. He plays it very, very well. He's been playing a lot of champion pool. I guess a little shout out too. He did actually hit Challenger once more. He hit Challenger before. It is the highest rank in League of Legends. He even jokingly said, because it's like a tiered leaderboard, he's like, yeah, by 3 a.m. I'll probably be out of there. But he did get Challenger once again. That medal is going to stay there for the rest of the season.
Hey, I couldn't do it. No offense, you couldn't do it.
No,
so
you can barely get to play.
Honestly, it's a huge achievement to even reach there. And like you said, even though that top lane hasn't been necessarily the star role recently, we've seen it ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Ricky has been getting ganked, thrown under, battled all 20 minutes. He's dead for the first 20 minutes of the game, and then he comes out of the top lane and he's carrying the team as if nothing happened.
Yeah, it's one of the best players to leave on that weak side. Yeah, just knowing he's all reliable in the top lane. Then you still have Akashi and the rest of the guys working around that to kind of circumvent things, help things go according to plan. Yeah, but that being said, still waiting a minute or two to get into the draft and see what kind of shenanigans we're going to get up to today. No Vi, no Sejuani, but we will see you guys back in just a couple minutes with Game 1 in the draft.
Plenty of shenanigans.
And welcome back, and everybody. Quick little look over at the stage. That's going to be our starting five today. Maddie looking cool as a cucumber. Akashi, nice little smile toward that back screen. But that
Gamer
starting
shades.
five, they are ready exactly. Absolute Chad in the jungle. Got to watch out for those early ganks from Maddie today. He's feeling some type of way, but we are getting underway with the draft, as you can see by this beautiful graphic below. Now we're going to get into the actual meat and potatoes of League of Legends. Who is going to get picked? Who's going to get banned? What kind of game are we going to end up seeing?
It is a cerebral minefield in the draft format. It's my favorite
Zeri
type
Lulu.
of gameplay.
Zeri Lulu.
Oh, close.
No, it's gonna, I was expecting to see someone, but
I was expecting to see Lulu. Seriously.
maybe, yeah. I mean, Silas gonna be that first one banned away. You know, one of those prototypical mid laners, nice bruiser, drain tank, lots and lots of sustain. You know, just very, very good in a lot of matchups. Can steal away ultimates from the other team. So consistently one of the best mid laners in the game. Curious. I mean, maybe not necessarily there was a Silas one trick. He's one of the better mid laners. So just a solid ban all around for the Saints.
Yep, and right now, I'm sure Stony Brook is going to do something in return. Yep, banning out a Saint staple, taking out the Olaf.
Yep.
That is a Ricky favorite, and they've seen what they can do with the champion.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot more Olaf in pro play recently, too. He's still always been a pretty decent champion. I mean, I saw there was a great play. I watched G2 play the other day. Somebody was running. It looked like he was running as Neon and Valorant with Olaf because he like hit Ghost plus all his abilities, and he literally was like sprinting down the rift like 200 miles an hour. So the champ has some pretty good capabilities. We are going to see the Renekton getting banned away for the Saints there. So taking away one of those top lane choices. So right now, top lane does seem to be the preference of bans. We are going to see the Udyr ban come through for Stony Brook. So we haven't seen too much Udyr from the Saints recently, but maybe they're still worried about Udyr being a problem. I haven't seen much Udyr at all recently.
It's a Maddie pick.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's going to be the thing. So yeah, jungle top looks like it's the ban preference for now.
Right. They're going to be targeting the top lane, despite us talking about how it's not going to be huge impact. They definitely disagree. So we're going to see how they're going to try orienting their gameplay, their play style to kind of reflect their drafting decisions. We see the first ban targeted towards the bottom lane, going to be the Jinx. What's not to like about that champion? You got a lot of utility out of it.
Yeah, she's very, very strong, especially in the meta right now. We're seeing, I think we saw the Saints play Jinx Thresh. Jinx Thresh is kind of that like very, very classic combination. Been seeing it a lot more the last couple weeks after Jinx got a pretty steady round of buffs. She is definitely in a significantly better spot, especially in the early game. Speaking of nice early game though, Varus, one of the better ADCs in the game, still lots of high damage with that poke. Just very, very good at targeting enemies. That R can lock enemies down in place. Just one of the ADCs we've come used to seeing over the last couple months.
Right, and they're definitely going to be trying to counteract it. First ban, or first pick, going to be Stony Brook. They're going to take Maokai. Again, you want to secure your bottom lane. You want to make sure that it's not going to get
Maokai is jungler.
Oh,
you could play Maokai support has been a thing before. Maokai is usually like he was like top jungle, but he's been primarily a jungler because basically you click R and these like vines roll out across the entire but he's usually in the jungle.
Oh, really? Okay, back in my day, I used
to be fair, like that's what I mean. Like the way League is, like he was legitimately like considered to be like you could play him support at times. That's kind of League, like you flex characters around like that.
And usually. Like Ashe was always ADC. Now I come back and she's
a support main. I know. He went from like one of the best ADs to the best support in the game 6 months ago. So that's just, I mean, to be fair, there was literally an AD carry support meta. People were playing Caitlyn support. Kalista's another ADC playing her support. Too. Yeah, we're seeing a lot of ADCs playing support. Not as much recently. The game has kind of shifted away from that. We're going to be more traditional here. We are going to see the Gragas and the Nautilus getting picked up for the Saints. So heavy engage, decent front line so far for that Nautilus and that Gragas. Jace is going to be that counter pick in the top side there. Veigar is actually, he got a round of buffs recently. Not that he was ever a bad champion, but I've been seeing a ton of Veigar, both in solo queue and in pro play. He has definitely gotten a nice little buff. And again, just zoning off enemies, high damage output. Very, very good scaling into the late game. Speaking of scaling, Aurelion Sol, the best scaling champ in the game, debatably, going to be taken off the board.
Oh, yeah, speaking of scaling, it doesn't matter how good you are at the game. If there's a meteor coming at you 14,000 kilometers per hour, it is going to do some damage to your team composition and to your mental. So you want to get rid of it. We're going to see, again, the picks from the Saints to me indicate they really are, obviously you want to be playing around your bottom lane. Oh, yeah, keeping that up. They're banning out the Aurelia and that is Camille. Yeah, I remember that championship. It was pretty cool.
Camille, both, those are two of like the, usually top lane, you either play a hyper carry champ that can absolutely take over and break a game, or you play a tank and you just frontline and you eat shots for your teammates. Aurelia and Camille, two of those more in that carry style top lane are very, very hard to lock down. Aurelia, to be honest, when she gets Blade of the Rune King at like level 6, she's pretty much a broken champ. Like, if you know how to mechanically, it's probably one of the hardest champs in the game to pilot, but if people know what they're doing on that champ, you look and go, how has League of Legends never nerfed that? But it's because of that high skill ceiling, and Renata Glass going to be that pick for support for Stony Brook. Haven't seen Renata in a while besides pro play, and we are going to see the Ahri, my personal favorite champ, I think.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of people's personal champ for sure.
I mean,
I thought you were a bottom laner.
No, top lane and mid.
Okay.
Mordekaiser and Ahri are my top two.
I was just confused about the Braum ban. Unless you were going to tell me that Braum is now like the most broken mid laner in the game or something. I was just confused.
No, Braum basically just a big meaty support, hold up a shield and just eat the damage reduction.
That's what I remember.
Yeah, the damage reduction is like, I don't know, 70 or 80%. You basically just hold up a shield, take basically no damage. You can block.
I'd love to ask them about that ban.
Block a lot of spells, yeah.
Yeah, we're seeing coming out for the final picks. We're going to see the Sion and Ahri for the Saints, like you mentioned, and we are going to see the Fiora.
This is going to be a fun game.
Yeah, so that's going to be, is that Fiora for the top lane?
Yeah, that's Fiora, yeah.
Okay, and then we're going to see the support with Jace is going to be also ADC in the bottom? Or
Jace is going to be top, Maokai is going to be jungle.
Is Veigar ADC?
Veigar's mid.
Mid?
So then Veigar ADC has been a thing before. Oh no, you're right. It actually might, playing ADC? No, you actually, it might be Veigar ADC. It could potentially, it's got to be Veigar or Jace. I don't think it's going to be Jace because of his kit. I'm guessing it's going to be that Veigar AD, so maybe a Jace mid. No, Fiora top, Maokai jungle.
We're going to take a look.
It's Jace or it's Veigar in the bot lane. Something I definitely haven't seen. Veigar, I would more to be expecting in that ADC role. Jace, not really known as a flex. He plays a lot of top lane. Potentially, you could flex to that mid lane, top and mid, those two solo lanes. Usually fairly interchangeable depending on the matchup. But definitely an interesting draft. A lot of going into it. The Saints definitely have a front to back. They have the dive with the Ahri and the Gragas. They're going to have a very good way to engage and disengage. So honestly, We got 10 pretty fun champs in a different draft than what I was expecting, but a actually fun one nonetheless. No Vi, no Sejuani, no Zeri, no Lulu, no Lucianami. Let's go.
We're going to get to see where this Veigar's playing as soon as we head into the game. All mysteries will be answered. All things will be made clear when we hit the Rift very soon, and I am so excited to see what the Saints have in store. But now that we've seen the draft from Stony Brook, I'm very excited to see what they have in store as well.
And they must have some kind of crazy hyper carry top laner, because to ban Aurelia, to ban Camille from both sides, ends up picking Fiora. Fiora, another one of those champs. It's very, you're going to split push that top side. You're going to play solo 90% of the game. You're going to try to use that parry and find all that damage back the other way. But we're over onto the Rift now. It is going to be Veigar ADC, so I suspected that's what it was going to be, and it is going to be that Jace mid. So that makes a little more sense to me. It is going to find out just a little bit there. Renata is going to be that support. But, however, we haven't, honestly, I was going to say it wouldn't be a league without a tech pause. We haven't really had a tech pause on this broadcast for a while. So, the game, got to take a second to process here. Good look at Maddie. Look at cool.
I'm jealous of his juice box. That's what I'm really jealous of.
Yeah, what flavor he's cooking up over there.
When's the last time he had a juice box, dude?
Honestly, I'm not going to lie. I had an iced tea one like yesterday.
An iced tea juice box?
Yeah.
Specifically.
Actually.
You're living the life. You're living the life.
I randomly found a couple at home. I was like, it's been like 8 years since I had one of these. God. This thing might slap a little bit. And
it's been too long.
It did.
There's nothing that beats that like aluminum interior coating.
Oh, yeah.
It's just premium luxury.
And nostalgia.
It ferments it or something. It just makes it taste better. Like out of a can.
Like a fine wine.
Yeah. I don't know what it is about it. Maybe like bacteria, special bacteria lives inside of those boxes that makes it taste better. I don't know what it is, but also getting the straw in there. Anyways, I don't know how I ended up talking more about juice boxes than I have about the draft so far.
Welcome to casting League of Legends when there's nothing happening on the Rift. You just talk about anything and everything to kill time until you actually get into the action. We're going to see this top side start for the Maokai. Starting over on that red buff. This bot side of the Saints, they're going to probably look to put a lot of pressure on here, especially playing Varus and Nautilus. Playing into the Veigar might be a little bit strange for them since you don't typically see him in that ADC slot. Even after the last few updates, nice little early hook from Biscotti. That's going to be a decent amount of damage over to them. A little bit of poke from Rockboom there, but a fantastic trade to kick things off.
Absolutely. Everybody's looking to set themselves up for success. Super focused, super into the game. They are trying to poke out the bottom side. And in the top side, they're going to do brief exchanges, trying to contest.
It's top lane.
Yeah, not too much
Fiora Sion wouldn't be too bad of a matchup, at least because they're probably going to try to trade back and forth, but it's top lane. This mid lane's more what I'm interested in. Jason Ari, a lot of damage output, a lot of ability to get on and get away from those fights. So definitely an interesting matchup. We don't see Jace mid too much as of recent, but again, half those top lane champs fit just as well in that mid lane. Saints gonna hit that level 2 nice and early. Wave not in the best of spots to try to get that shove right now.
Oh.
We're gonna see Ray Leon going in for a little slice there. A little bit of damage on Ricky. Nothing too crazy though. I mean, it's a Sion. Ricky's gonna have to eat about 70 of those to go down.
Now, one of my favorite, more nuanced elements of a game like League of Legends is the timings that really make the players' ears perk up, their hair stand on their ends, and get ready to get into action. And looking at the champions, looking at the lineups here, what important timings do you think are really going to lay out the format, lay out how these teams are going to want to try playing the game, if any?
Yeah, both teams have pretty decent scaling. Ari scales fairly well, Varus scales pretty well, Gragas as well, Veigar, one of the better scaling champs of the game. Biscotti going in for a nice little hook there, trying to consistently find that bot lane damage. And I mean, it is kind of that bot lane meta still to some degree. Rockboom, if he can land that piercing arrow, that potion, that is very low health bar over there, but not going to be able to find that kill. Don't want to, give the game away. You don't want to, it's always fun till you dive over there. Got to watch for these early Maokai ganks, so already at that level 4. Maokai at level 6 is when the problems really start because he can just pop that R, doesn't even need to technically be in a good ganking position. You can still get that slow roll and find it. Maddie, he's going to get that bot side Scuttle Crab. Ray Leon trying to get a nice little push on the wave here. Ricky absorbing that pressure. Akashi and Jace, that's the charm. Nice little Ari combo, gets the electrocute proc too, so nice little damage top off there from Akashi.
Yep, and again, top lane, not too much going on, but there is going to be action nonetheless. It's always action on the top side, even if it's not lore important, even if it's just filler action, it's action. I love action no matter what, you know what I mean?
Listen, I'm all about the fights in League of Legends, because there's some games, right, where it's like 6-3 after 35 minutes. It's like, yes, I know this is a clean game, but please someone just dive.
And it looks like, oh, never mind. I thought Ricky was going to try doing something with Maddie there, but he's actually just going to go home.
Yeah, I mean, the side, if Ricky doesn't have that much mana, he can maybe land one charge Q for a knockup, but then he's not really going to have any follow-up. It's a Sion. He's just going to run him down with that huge axe. And Ray Leon, Fiora, she has Ghost actually, Ghost TP, but she can dash away from him. So all she has to do is parry, dash away. Hey, I'm safe now. But rest of this team, Biscotti still working this bot side, clearing out this ward. Saints right now, always looking for that bot side push. Biscotti, he is one of the most aggressive supports I've ever laid eyes on. He's going to continue that. The Veigar cage to answer. There's the E from Varus, though.
Ignite's up, though.
The Ignite did get the burn damage, but it's not going to be enough. That Renata going to live to fight another day.
You know, I'm really glad to see some more Ghost representation in these games. I remember when I was playing this game very actively, my friends used to yell and scream and beg me not to pick
Top lane Ghost is really good now. At least for like since I've been playing the last like year and a half, Ghost in top lane is a lot more common than maybe it used to be.
Every time I got into a game, it was like a 1 out of 4 chance. I'm gonna be like, "Why are you running Ghost?" And I'm like, "Because I want to."
Yeah, no. Nowadays, right? If you get you get ghosted, if you find a kill while you're in ghosted, you get that reset. So if you find 1 kill while you're ghosted, especially on a champ like Fiora, you just space glide all over the enemy team, try to set up those parries, and you can find yourself in a very, very nice position. Flacco gonna clear up this middle pink ward here, and Pixel Akashi still trying to manage that mid wave. Ricky trying to get the shove in on Rayleon, trying to stop some of that CS from going through.
Flame Drake is going to be the first one spawning. Junglers might want to get on their toes sometime soon. We have Maddie in the middle lane looking like he wants to set something up, but Malachi is not too far behind. They might actually meet each other in these bushes eventually.
Hey, boys.
They have the same idea going on. Looks like it's just going to be a matter of who makes the first move, and it's going to be Maddie with the Malachi following very closely behind. Not going to be able to do too much.
Got the flash.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's the charm.
That's a lot of HP over on that Maokai, though. Oh, Maddie's got to be very careful. Akashi's working that backline beautifully.
Oh,
lands a W. Maddie's going to flash over the wall to safety, but that gank, I mean, it's essentially a 1-for-1 as far as flashes. Actually, it's going to be a 2-for-1. They got the flash from the Maokai, too. So if you're the Saints, it was a little bit scuffed, but 2 flashes for 1, you're going to take that.
That was intense. It was perfectly mirrored. It literally looked like yin and yang
If Maddie was
other.
level 6, that would have been flawless, but not having the bomba yet is going to be a little bit harder to find.
You love saying that, don't you?
If you want, it's the best thing about League of Legends right now. It's the best.
You know, my favorite thing about League was Udyr's hero select noise, but I think they changed it.
Hey, everyone's got their preference.
You know, but bomba, it might be the best thing. Actually, no. The best thing is Poppy's ultimate. Just someone comes in, they're ready for a fight, and they're just gone.
See ya. Yeah, just kick him over to kick him to the curb. Yeah, it's very satisfying to watch you bring the hammer down and send someone flying over 4 walls. Like, hey, buddy, you don't get to play right now. I'll see you in a few.
Especially after just beating them against the wall.
Yeah,
he's like, all right, just gonna teach you a lesson real quick and send you out of here.
Talk to me back in 30 seconds. We're gonna see Duality going for that top side scuttle right now. Flacco and Akashi, always that back and forth trade. A lot of damage from both of these members. That empowered Q from Jace can really pack a punch, especially against Ahri. Gonna be a little more on the squishy side, but again, they're both going for that damage output. CS levels, expecting, I say Rockboom has a pretty large CS level Vigar. A little bit trickier to CS. He is actually gonna go for that Rod of Ages build too, which is typically that mid lane build that's really, really good for scaling. You get a level at the end of getting those 10 stacks. But right now, Rockboom having a near double CS lead is going to spell very, very, very good.
One thing I'm noticing about the lineup of Stony Brook is the burden of the ADC, or the burden of the carry, is more or less spread out a little bit more evenly across the team.
Yeah, Jason and Vigar are going to be like the 2 damage dealers, quote-unquote, because Vigar, yeah, like...
And Fiora to an extent as well.
If she can get... Yeah, the thing with Fiora, if she can get a couple items under her belt, she can definitely have an impact, but it's a champion. No, she's not really great for team fighting. She's more good for that 1v1 skirmish. You're probably going to see Rayleon and that's spending a lot of time alone in the top lane.
That's kind of what I'm thinking of, though. With the ability of your top laner to kind of take on that role of being able to single target out, you know, certain champions, whereas your ADC would be the one that could really only do that, or your mid laner.
Yeah.
The ability to burst down important targets is not just locked on one champion or 1 or 2 champions. It's more or less something that's kind of spread out among the 3, and they're all really decent at doing just good chunks of damage consistently. So they're not really going all in on a single player. They're more or less spreading things evenly. Again, when you look more compared to the Saints roster, it is a little top heavy. Not top lane heavy, bottom lane heavy.
I will say though, yeah, the only thing is once Gragas and Ahri get a couple items, they hit very, very hard. And Ahri having that, it's the electrocute proc, if you land 3 abilities, you get like a strike of lightning on the enemy. It does an extra lot of damage. And with Ahri, if you land the charm, the W and the Q are as free as it gets. You instantly gonna get that electrocute proc. Akashi, I'm sure he's played a good amount of Ahri. She's been getting buffed recently as well, which I'm very, very happy about. Makes her much more viable in the mid lane, especially in this match. There's some matchups like, against like a Zed or something, it's unplayable. It's an absolute disaster. But in a matchup like this, where you can kind of dash around the Jace, it can be very, very effective.
You should not be too happy about these, because that just means they're going to nerf her soon.
Yeah,
tough reality. I watched that.
Well, she got a visual rework, though, so I feel like they're going to try to sell more skins, which means she's going to get a better character, usually.
Fair enough.
That's Riot's policy. When I add more skins, VFX update, character's good now.
When I said that, though, I watched the disappointment and the realization set. I wish the audience could have seen that. That was, wow, I feel bad for bringing it up.
No, it's okay. She'll be fine for a little bit. Worst case, yeah, it's okay. Maddie, taking a little swig there. He's going to pop that fruit plant, get some health topped up here. This first dragon still
looks like objectives
still hasn't gone over anyone. Yeah, Rift Herald is top side, or will be very shortly. That dragon has been up for quite some time, so...
They're making an aggressive play
actually,
on bottom
Maddie already
side.
got the Herald. Didn't even notice it was so fast earlier.
Nope, but they spotted out Bottom lane is going to retreat. They're not going to lose to this game.
I wonder if they put the Herald here as well, just trying to get Rock Boom as much gold as 95 to 55 CS. Vigar's pretty good, but if Rock Boom stays this consistent with his farming, Vigar's
We've seen this before.
Well, Vigar's not really going to have a great chance to scale. That's the thing. You're counting on getting to that late game, but if Rock Boom can get to 150 CS, get 2 or 3 items under his belt, they might just consistently dive the bot lane, because if you take Vigar out of this game, I don't know where that damage is going to come from. Fiora's kind of nice. Maokai probably going to build a little more tanky instead of that damage build. It's a lot better for him. Renata, not going to do any damage. Jace is going to be that one you're counting on, but you have to be very, very careful relying on, that single source of damage throughout the game.
I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but when Rock Boom is this ahead, things don't usually go very well for the enemy team.
And Varus is a very strong, it's not like it's a champ that's going to fall off at 15-20 minutes. Varus is going to consistently deal a ton of damage. That is absolutely going to be a problem.
But you know what kind of plays back into my previous point is the fact that Stony Brook's composition is a little bit more evened out. Oh, it might not matter very much if Ricky manages to kill into Ray. But they might get the kill in the mid laner. Committing 3, they get a first blood underneath the second tower.
Beautiful.
Oh wow. And they're trying to retaliate. Stony Brook, no, not going to be able to do too much. Maddie's just standing there like a brick wall, a squishy brick wall, but a brick wall nonetheless. Not going to let that get through. Ricky, now it looks like they switched roles a little
Well, see, that's what I was saying about Fiora, right? It seems like things are going okay, then she parries you, gets a lot of damage, kind of dashes around you, especially with Sion. Pretty immobile champ besides that ultimate, so you can kind of get a few free hits on him if you space everything out right. Fiora is always one of those trickier champs to kind of pilot in. Considering how many top bans I saw this game from the Saints, I have to imagine that Ray Leon is quite good in the 1v1.
Potentially. And what I was going to say before that amazing kill mid was, like I was mentioning before, it seemed that the composition for Stony Brook seems to be a little bit more evened out, not too all in on a specific champion. So while Vagar is pretty far behind in the CS, or not necessarily far behind.
No, he's far behind.
Vagar.
For 12 minutes, that's far.
Okay.
Especially if you're playing, he's playing a champ.
You said it, not me.
Well, I mean, it's a double at 12 minutes is like crazy.
PMA.
It should at least be probably like, I know Vagar doesn't like the best farming ship, but it should be probably 120 to 100 or 120 to 90. You're never going to try to go 20 or 30 down. They're going to go for this early drag stuff, but the Saints are going to be here though. They're going to go for the all-in, the hostile takeover in retaliation. Biscotti finds the first kill of the game though, or rather, that's going to be a kill back to the Jace though.
He's going to get out.
Rockboom is going to find one. Biscotti, you got to be careful tanking that Infernal Dragon, my friend. He's going to walk away. Rockboom not done fighting yet. He's going 1v1 against the Jace. The hammer strike, Rockboom, one more E. Down goes Flacco. The Saints get a dragon for their trouble and say goodbye to the Joker.
That was so well executed by the Saints. It was a divide and conquer, almost a command
Now
and conquer.
Rockboom's ahead.
Now
if the CS wasn't enough, now he's fed.
2 kills, 1 assist.
He got all the gold. Yeah, it was like the perfect situation
that
for the Saints.
Is about 2k gold lead for the ADCs, and among the top laners, they're about dead even. Mid laners is not looking much better as well. 1k ahead. Akashi.
1-0-4 on the Ahri. Akashi, I mean, that's the thing with Ahri too. She's so mobile. She has such good wave clear. Just shove that wave in and get to work. We do have a quick little playback. Yeah, I want to see it again too. I want to see exactly how this dive started. I'm guessing it was Maddie or Biscotti that got things going. Maddie with a beautiful dash in, the Vigar cage in retaliation. The hostile takeover is beautifully timed from Stony Brook, but the Saints just have too much damage right now. Honestly, just kind of stat check them. The positioning was very good as well. They got a great opening engage, and honestly, it just came down to we do more damage than you do right now at this point in the game. Rockboom did a great job to take over the rest of that fight. And League of Legends, second tech pause of the day. The game was getting too hot to handle.
Not only was the replay a little buggy, but then we come back and it's immediate pause. It's just beautiful.
Which is funny because the two things aren't connected. One was from production and one is from the in-game. So these are two unrelated things that of course go together.
Ordinarily that would be a bad thing, but I think that's beautiful. Just goes to show you the random coincidences that can occur in life. And what's even more beautiful is our players in their beautiful attire as well, on our beautiful stage, in a beautiful
and get out of the shot
in Windsor.
It's not a Valorant day, Owen. We got you yesterday, man. It's all about Akashi in the League of Legends, boys, today. Akashi on that far side there. I guess we'll go a quick little rundown. That's Akashi. Fresh is going to be the one to the right in the glasses. Then it's going to be Ricky, Biscotti, and Maddie. I believe some of the players are going to play from home tonight potentially as well. So we have a mostly full stage. You know, Valorant, they're off to the left. They're doing whatever they're doing.
Yeah, whatever those guys do. Who even cares? We should definitely watch the Valorant team, by the way.
Yeah, they're actually really, really good. Crazy double overtime yesterday, too, so... Lots of our teams, you know, lots of excitement around the scene, especially as far as the Saints streams goes. Right now, this early game for the Saints, virtually flawless. Ricky's a tad bit behind in this. Yeah, that's the best thing too. The players, like the first time they're on stage, they look back, they're like, oh my god, I'm on the big screen. Like, oh, jeez.
I did the same thing, honestly.
No, I mean, yeah, it's a nice little ego boost when you walk in and see your face blown up. It's like, oh, it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Now's the perfect time. No better time than ever before to kind of talk about. Well, we're back in game, but still.
I hear audio and I don't see pictures yet, and we're back in the joke.
I was just about that replay, just about how that team fight went down. It was actually very well executed by Stony Brook as well. The problem that I saw at the very least, was a lot of their damage went towards non-optimal targets.
Yeah.
You saw Flacco, when they got initiated on, they managed to get out, so they avoided a lot of damage, but when they came back in, they kind of dunked a lot of the damage onto our Nautilus.
Which,
you don't want to be doing that, because Rockboom was not too far away, but he just was not in the range. So Rockboom perfectly positioning himself in a great spot to avoid damage while still contributing greatly to the fight. And it's these small nuances that make or break engagements.
Yeah, and this ADC pick is making me scratch my head just a little bit more now, because he's using Ultimate Spellbook, which is basically you can change your summoner spells throughout the course of a game.
Oh, wow.
So you can go from having TP to switching to Ignite like he has now, because earlier I saw him pop a Cleanse, and I was like, I don't think I saw him take Cleanse to start the game. So you can switch throughout the game, so it's not one that you see typically often. There's the Everfrost, there's the W in the Q. Uh-oh, Flacco, you got hit with Maddie, he took you down. That is a nice, clean kill for the Saints. The nice thing about Ahri, when you use that R ability, you get that refresh after a kill. You can keep dashing on these enemies. Oh, Biscotti actually pulls him away from Akashi's charm, but Akashi will not let that kill go away from him. He's going to find another one, and the Saints right now firing on all cylinders. Even Ricky now getting some action.
He's getting a little confident. He's like, you guys can get kills, I'll get kills too.
Ricky's now getting to the point where he has so much health. He's like, Fiora, try me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Bro, try it.
1,000 damage to you is not the same to me.
Look at that health bar at level 11.
We're looking at percentages, and this actually might be the kill.
Ricky has flash. He could follow. He doesn't want to burn.
He doesn't even care. He does not even care.
Whoa, Ray has to be. You got to be careful, my friend, because if Ricky tries to flash and land 1 or 2 autos, that could be the end of your day in this lane. Ricky, though, not a ton of mana.
I think Ricky's just playing it cool. He wants his kill, but he's acting like
he doesn't want to waste a flash either. He wants to see if he can at least get the kill without using the flash, or at very worst, get her to burn all her summoner spells, try to get her to pop that ghost, get those cooldowns, so at least he can take over the top lane. Yeah, Sion, if you can stay even as Sion, you're playing phenomenal, because Sion is typically, it's joked as like the inting champ, because you just run it to the towers, bust down the towers, and die for it every single time. Because Sion, there's more good deaths than bad deaths typically.
And there's a place for champions like that in this game.
That's it. There's a place, it's like the one champion that usually has that strategy, but very, very good at it.
Yeah, I really appreciate diverse designs in any game, even if it's just unconditional, unconventional. Anything that diverts from the norm is the kind of champion I find myself gravitating towards. It's definitely why I was so drawn to Udyr in my early days of this game, and it's why I'm so drawn to champions like Shen and champions like Sion himself.
No, Shen's one that's really, really cool. We don't see him too often. All right, Leon, you are in a bad, bad spot, my friend. The Everfrost, the combo. Akashi is going to miss that charm. There's that Fiora dash. There's a nice little parry as well. He is going to escape. Another Q for Maddie, though.
He's pressing onwards,
Ray Leon, because Flacco is here to help with the bomba. Sends Ray Leon back to the tower. The Saints are going to use that to disengage. They smelled that Jace walking up, but although the Jace is a little bit behind, Jace still hits like a truck, especially if he hits that charge Q. Could pop Maddie potentially, or Akashi rather. So got to be a little bit wary of that. When you have a nice lead, you don't want to throw it.
Yep, and in the bottom lane, we have an engagement coming up from Ricky with Biscotti coming up on the left side. Fully charged stun coming out. Ray's coming up from behind. Ricky's getting low. Flashes over the wall, but getting chased by Ray. He wants to kill, and he wants it badly. Charging up the stun does not let it go off, and he's just going to be able to do a little bit of chip damage as he goes down. Biscotti's forced to flee before he was able to do too much in that engagement.
Yeah, going to be a kill over to the Fiora. So one of those champs, I guess at this point, you want to try to get some gold in that Fiora. This Vigar definitely has to find some way to catch up. Does have the Rod of Ages now, trying to get to those 10 stacks. But the Fiora is going to be your best chance to find a pick right now, because the Saints have a great dive comp. They have so much damage on the back end. Rockboom is at 200 farm, already has the shield bow and the Gwinsu's blade, so he is going to be very far. And Nakashi is going for pretty much a full damage build now.
Absolutely. He's just trying to cash in the check that was given to him by his team. The space made by Ricky, the excellent top class display in the bottom lane with the kills, the objective play from the bottom
Maddie's
side.
actually building damage too. He's not building tank, I guess.
Yeah.
I like it.
And now Akashi's just going full in. He's like, I know my role. I know what you guys need me to do. You need me to kill people.
Yeah, I actually like this a lot. Yeah, Sion, Ricky's going to play that anti-heal, playing that full tank Sion, and the rest of these members, they are playing full damage, which you don't always see, but if you know you're ahead of the enemy, I don't hate the idea. Ray Leon is shredding this tower. However, Dragon 2 is going to go to the Saints, so they'll be willing to sacrifice a couple chunks of that top tower to get that Hex Dragon open for them. Ricky's still going to fight off Ray Leon here, has a full health for to deal with, but it's Fiora, so you always have to be a little bit mindful.
Even at this stage of the game, though, Veigar usually represents quite a threat to champions like
Right now
Boris.
he has like nothing though.
But yeah, I don't even see like if Veigar has his way and he's able to do whatever he wants, like a Veigar, to Arvaris, I don't even think that's much of a threat, to be honest. So why don't you just go for full damage and just burst them down before they can even do anything?
Yeah, the problem,
You're not gonna face too much
that's the thing. The Rod of Ages build as the ADC is a little bit surprising because it's usually more of that mid lane scaling. Mid lane, usually you're going to try to go even as long as possible, get those items under your belt, but that Rod of Ages definitely, maybe, I mean, to be fair, I don't know all the meta builds or what's necessarily best, so maybe there's some, nice mechanics to it, some nice tech to it, but right now these Saints, dominant early game, they have a very, very nice lead, a 9k gold lead just about there, and all the gold is in the right places too. It's in your carries. You have that Nautilus, you have the Gragas. It's just a very well-rounded team comp. And if you're Stony Brook right now, I'm not even exactly sure what the clearest path to victory is to be fully forthcoming. I would say gank the bot lane, but the Saints are diving on the top side. That is a nice riposte, but the Everfrost and the Q are going to be a little bit too much there.
Does not seem like a fight
the
you want to
Saints are going to go for the redive. They have a lot of tank though. Duality is going to find the kill under Ricky, but it is an absolute disaster on the top side here. That is a double kill for Rock Boom. Maddie is going to get taken out. There are still abilities flying left and right. Akashi, maybe going to try to find one more dive here. A lot of damage for a 2 for 2.
Yeah, as soon as I saw,
messy.
Yeah,
that
very
was like
messy.
Overwatch.
Again, I'm not on that team. I don't know what's going on inside their comms or what's going inside their game plan.
Uh-oh.
Oh, this might be bad, but they're not going to fully
Had
commit.
to flash.
Yeah, as soon as the Fiora went down there, I think you just call, okay guys, just back off. Because realistically, there's not going to be a lot you can do. They were able to take out Ricky, but again, we were talking about before, Sion does not really care. Maddie, he was right in the thick of the fight, so if he didn't go down, I would be surprised.
Yeah, and the thing with Sion too is when you're 0-2-2, your deaths don't really mean anything as far as gold or XP. So you can kind of you can run it in a respectful way. You can kind of run it, just tank everything, frontline, burn every single cooldown, and be like, okay, even if I die, I can still chip away at you. I can still punch you down a little bit. And the rest of these Saints are trying to skirt around the backline, find that dive. But right now, you've got to funnel money into the Jace. You have to get him ahead, or at least more online than he is, because the gold lead right now, very, very high discrepancy between this bot and mid lane.
That engagement, again, did not look very well thought out, I'll say the least, but it definitely could have gone worse for them.
Joker is absolutely cooked in about 5 seconds. Maddie and Akashi are here. Misses the charm. The Everfrost is going to land. The combo, the kill to the Gragas. Ricky now going to try to defend this bot side from Ray Leon. That is a nice chunk there with the demolition proc. Ray might be able to take this bot side tower as well.
That's the first tower going down for the Saints.
Actually, yes. Yeah, they're finally going to take that first T1, get those objective bounties cashed in. Ricky.
Ray's doing a lot of work here.
That's saying Ray has landed 17 abilities, and look at Ricky's health. And Ray landed 100 sword strikes.
And again, this is just a little bit of what I was talking about before. You look at the damage he was doing to the sign, imagine that damage on a Rock Boom. That's going to be a lot scarier to face, in addition to a Veigar, in addition to a Jace. So they're trying to spread things out a little bit more than usual, but it's not going to mean much if the Saints are able to take over the map completely, take over all the economy. I just looked at the top of the screen and I saw the golds. I do not encourage you to do the same. It is quite a disparity.
Yeah, we're getting into the 10k range potentially, but for the Saints right now too, the thing is, they have so much CC. You have Ari Charm, Varus R, Nautilus Hook and Auto, Gragas can help you out, and a fully charged Scion Q does knock you up. So if someone gets tagged by one piece of CC, quite literally every player has some form of CC on the team or some kind of slow. So if you get hit by a single ability and your Fiora or your Jace, you're probably going to get taken down, and at that point, that's going to be all she wrote immediately for that team.
And if Veigar gets hit by anything at any point in the fight, he's done.
Yeah.
So because it's not like he gets hit by a stun. He's like, all right, I'm just gonna dash out.
Rockboom has 250 farm at 22 minutes. By the way, for I guess a stat, usually if you're considered to be farming at quote unquote pro level, it's 10 CS a minute. So he is well above that.
Okay,
like technically, 10 CS a minute is like the pro quote-unquote standard.
Right.
He's at quite more than that.
Hey, what can you say? The Saints are playing around their players, and they're giving him all that he needs to succeed. He would not be able to achieve that if Biscotti was running it down mid.
I say, Biscotti is like an ADC's dream to have, because all he wants to do is fight. Same as Rockman. These two, that's why it works so well. They have the exact same mentality. They're like, oh, we're going to fight? Yeah, level 2. We are going into fight. Whether it's Biscotti on the Pike, the Nautilus, maybe we see the Blitzcrank or something get pulled out one day. And Rockboom, he plays so many different ADCs all the way up to that Challenger spot. I mean, to be fair, I think every single one of our players has potentially hit Challenger. I'm not sure about Matty or Biscotti. I'm sure they've gotten to, GM or Challenger, but this is a team, deep hero pools, or deep champion pools rather, just very, very versatile. Always good to see them flexing the legs a little bit. And right now, just honestly, play time, play for those objectives, keep stacking these items, keep stacking it's going to be a Hextech Soul as well. Okay, Hextech Soul with this comp, Stony Brook is going to get popped if they try to fight if they get to that soul.
And I was just thinking, Stony Brook has not called the game, so they definitely believe that they have an opportunity left to still win this out.
One Maokai R can still change a fight, yeah.
Absolutely, that's what they're exactly looking for, and it looks like they're also trying to position themselves around
the R.
Baron. But Ricky is going to find Maokai. They're not going to commit for it. They just want to play things a little bit safe, but Aerobot is in the bush where the Saints are approaching. Not sure if they're going to spot him out. They do not. He gets out, but they have eyes on a bigger prize. Ray Leon getting a beat down in the bushes. They're chasing him out. Spell immune as the charm hits. They're chasing him down, throwing out the bomba, as Jobin so thankfully said. But Akashi is not going to relent. They're chasing him down all the way to our tower, but he has to fight back eventually, and that is going to spell his doom, but not rock booms as they go underneath the tower. They're pouring everything they can, but it's not quite enough. The roots come out, but there's no follow-up. Duality might go down for his best attempt. Ricky is the force pushing them back. So close, and he gets the full stun, and they get the barrel in. Akashi lands what they need, and they also catch the Maokai retreating. That's the charm. Come over here.
Baron.
Flacco has to retreat with 10% HP. Saints are making a pathway to Baron, clearing it, cutting down the grass with the machete. There's a get us over there right now.
That's so tough too, because Stony Brook, honestly, the idea is actually really, really good. You had to try to make some kind of dive, you had to try to make some kind of play, but like I said earlier, you just got stat checked. You're down in levels, you're down in items, you're down in CS. They just do more damage, and that's why I love this. I love the Akashi build to Cosmic Drive and Death Cap. You are gonna hit so damn hard, plus having that CC chain. This is such a good, well-rounded build. That is a 25-minute Baron right on the nose. They're going to be that one dragon away, 3 minutes away from that Hextech Soul. And honestly, even though the game is already fairly cooked for Stony Brook, if the Saints get to this Hextech Soul, man, Stony Brook's not going to have a chance to fight till about 45 minutes.
It is not looking very nice. And I'll ask again, like, they haven't called the game, so they definitely believe they still have a chance.
It's League of Legends. You can always throw.
Yep.
That's the one thing even watching pro play, there's always room to make mistakes.
Surely their chances at winning this, they have some agency in this, right? The Saints, it's not going to rely just on the Saints making a colossal mistake. I'm sure Stony Brook can do something to take this game back.
Yeah, maybe if they can get like 200 uncontested CS, they might have a chance.
It's possible.
Honestly, if they can get this Vygar to 3 items legitimately and without taking too many fights in between, the only thing is, this game right now for Stony Brook, even though they're trying to scale, this game is on a timer. The Saints are playing with Baron. They're going to play for that Hextech Soul, and they're going to W key until they get what they want. And what they want is probably going to be that Biscotti or Matty engage, and the follow-up is going to be absolutely lethal. So Stony Brook, you have to defend this base right now, because I think the Saints, honestly, they're looking to potentially look to end this game in about 5 minutes.
And now we see the Veigar switch to Summoners, as you pointed out. He can do that. He has Teleport and Heal now. And I was going to say, I think what the Stony Brook needs to be doing here might actually be what they were just kind of doing a little bit ago. Just provide a little bit of space for the Veigar to get farmed. He's going to be able to move around the map a little bit more flexibly with his Summoners, and he's going to be able to play with that, mechanic. I'm sure it's going to bring up some interesting scenarios.
A Cage Scion's awesome, but and that's the thing. Now that W Cage is on cooldown for probably about 8 to 10 seconds, the Saints get a couple free shots at the tower there.
Scared,
yeah, exactly. Once that Veigar Cage is down, that's the thing too. Veigar, not that he's been useless this game, but the pick hasn't maybe been the greatest against the Saints team comp. It's been very hard to find value. Ricky is going to land the empowered cube. Biscotti goes to the all-in. There's the charm. The hostile takeover is massive from Harbor, though. The Saints are going to try to weather this storm. That is a big CC chain. That is a whole lot of damage. That is going to be a dead Joker.
Cleaning up.
Ricky with a double kill. Akashi's going to pick up that 3rd kill. He's going to dash the safety over the wall. That's the beauty of Ari, baby. He's going to get to safety. Ricky and Matty are going to find a couple of picks, and the 27th minute minute mark will be the time of death for Stony Brook in game 1. All the Saints have to do is have a couple of these tower shots tank. They have that Baron wave. Ray Leon, can you make something happen? The answer is a resounding no, and the Saints will take over game 1 in absolute dominant fashion, 27-30 into the match.
That is going to be the game. St. Clair Saints going to take Stony Brook. First game scoreline 18-4. It was very fun.
That was a way more fun draft than I would have expected.
Yeah.
Even though the Saints won, yeah, that's great. But like the draft was actually way more fun.
It didn't.
Vigar ADC?
Maybe it didn't work out exactly as they planned, but like I said, I can only speculate as what their plan exactly was.
Yeah, the champ's not bad. It just, I think Rockboom, they got so far ahead, there just wasn't really like, because Vigart, you're right, you're very immobile, like, you have a really good combo, but once you get jumped on, you are a statue. The Yordle legs are small, you can't really go that far when you're trying to run away. It looks like
Tristana does it.
Well, she can jump. Yeah, she got wall hacked. She can jump over there. But either way, fantastic game 1, a pretty diverse draft from both sides. The draft from Stony Brook wasn't necessarily bad, but they couldn't get the gold in the right places. You're relying, Jason Fior are very like carry dependent champs. If you can't get the gold in those places and you can't scale with the Veigar, you just get rolled by the Varus. I think Akashi had 100% kill participation too. He had a part of every kill, every assist. I think he was like 2-0-13 or because he escaped at the end. And Ari too, after you get a kill in that R, you get healed on the refresh too. So if you keep getting kills, you keep getting that health bar increased and you keep getting your dashes back. That's why I have fun in mid lane. Because right, I'm also like not great, so having 3 dashes to dodge stuff is always nice.
Oh yeah.
And Akashi doesn't need it, but
make up for some mistakes, but again, Akashi doesn't make those.
I'd say I was honestly a pretty flawless game. I don't think he died, so that pretty much wasn't a flawless game from Akashi. Nice to see that mid lane standard having a signature game there. And the Saints, that is a signature game 1 of this best of 3. But we're going to throw it to a very, very quick break. We're going to see what game 2 has in store for us back in just a few.
Stay tuned. back, and I hope you adequately refreshed yourself because we are going right into the action for the St. Clair Saints versus Stony Brook NACE Starleague Premier Varsity League. After an exhilarating Game 1, Jobin, we are getting right into Game 2 with the draft.
Oh, we have games in the NACL VSP Varsity Premier, whatever acronym there. But Game 1 for the Saints, honestly, very, very dominant. One of Akashi's best games so far playing that mid lane. Played the Ahri. I think he had 100% KP, did not die the entire game. The rest of the Saints built a beautiful front-to-back comp. They took care of business. It was pretty easy as well. They played a very good first game. But League of Legends, Game 1 to Game 2 is usually drastically different even. We're going to see the Olaf and the Renekton ban.
What is going on right now?
I don't know. I'm waiting for Olaf and Renekton to get banned, and they have so far. So top lane bans again.
Right. And Gragas, they learned their lesson. Don't let Maddie play it.
No bomba.
But then they're going to have to ban Udyr. Otherwise, Maddie's just going to clean house. Okay.
I mean, to be fair though, Maddie was pretty good on the Gragas last time. He's got a pretty decent champ pool as well. He's going to play a couple different champions. It is going to be that Sylas ban once again. So the Saints, I mean, Sylas it plays so well into so many of these mid lane matchups. Get him out of there. That is going to be a Xayah ban for Stony Brook. So Xayah, one of the better ADCs in the game right now. Very good engage and disengage. You don't want to ruffle any feathers. She hits very, very hard, especially get a couple items, and that's going to be Wukong taken out next.
I appreciated that pun, and I also appreciate the Wukong ban. It's an unconventional champion. You don't see it too much, but they are going to ban it, make sure that they don't have to deal with any surprises, because that's the name of the game with that champion, and they are going to pick Ahri. I could have probably done a pun there, but I kind of
it was close enough. Nah, it's fine. There'll be plenty more opportunity to try. So we're gonna see a little bit of a switch up here. The Saints gonna opt for that first pick Maokai, and it's gonna be Stony Brook first picking Ahri. So first pick Ahri, a little bit unconventional. I mean, to be fair, listen, there's only 25 champs that are gonna get played. Even though it's just not the same 10 that I've been seeing for 6 months. So Varus picked up once again for Rockboom, a very, very solid champ. Listen, it's okay. There was no Vi in Game 1. I'm okay with the Vi in Game 2. No, it's okay once in a while, just not every single game across every single
I think this is my first time seeing Vi, casting games right now.
Big fist. Hit people.
I haven't seen the champion pick, so I cannot relate to your struggle. But we are going to see the Jinx, a very apt selection.
Yeah. So we're going to see at least a little more, balanced damage to kick things off. Vi is going to be there to get that CC, try to lock down some of these champs. Lissandra actually getting picked up in the mid lane. So Lissandra, I think pretty decent champ right now. I haven't seen too much of her, but I know she's in a pretty healthy state. Most of these mid laners, these control mages, or these enchanters, they still seem to do pretty well in the laning phase. They scale pretty well into that late game. The Jinx pickup. So right now, Stony Brook, a little bit on the squishy side. Curious how they're going to round it out. What kind of front line they're going to look for here. What kind of support they're going to look for. Because Vi's going to be in the jungle. Right now, Stony Brook, there are no misconceptions about who's going where.
Oh yeah, and right now they do not have a bottom laner, and they are going to. They're not going to have a support. I mean, they are going to ban out the Nautilus. They don't want to give that over to the Saints. Saints in turn, they're going to ban
saw
enough
of that. Yeah.
They are going to have to work with something here. Whatever they're going to let through. Potentially, the next pick, they have to make sure that the support really complements their lineup and make sure that it opens up their game plan to adapt to the last picks as well. It's not an easy spot to be in. Braum is still in the pool. Now that I know that's a champion that people actually pick, might not be too bad of an option here. Janna is going to be the last ban from Stony Brook.
So I'm expecting to see something like a Thresh come through for Stony Brook. It's been that typical Jinx pairing in that bot side, especially with no bans left. And I don't suspect they'd play Varus Thresh, although they could definitely find some use for it. I would expect maybe some kind of enchanter to pair that. So it is actually going to be a Thresh. I was going to say, Varus works great with Thresh too, and you're taking that away from the Jinx. So I wonder what they're actually going to pair with it. Maybe a Blitzcrank or something with the Jinx. Jinx typically...
that feels a little all-in-y to me. But you kind of want something that supplements Jinx's weaknesses, not just plays off of her strengths, I feel.
So I'm guessing that's going to be Shen top. Shen support was a thing for a decent little while. I don't suspect we're going to see it, although we did just see a little bit of a, off the beaten path sort of draft. But yeah, that Thresh Varus in the bot side, they're going to look for that early pressure, try to find the early engage. Listen, Braum, he got picked. They didn't ban him, and he got picked. You called it. Now we know who is going where, though. Shen is going to be top side. Braum is going to be that bot side with Jinx, Vi, and Ahri to round things out. The Saints waiting for this last pick, all on Mr. Ricky Lafleur to see who he wants to pilot in this top lane. Just going to see... Not sure there's a great... Yeah, Darius. Okay, this is a classic. If you've watched any Saints games, this is kind of one of those champions Ricky's known for. It was the Jax, it was the Darius, and to some degree, it was that Aatrox. But this is one of his pocket picks. It's one of his most comfortable champions. It is a champion with carry potential. He's definitely going to be feeling really good about this one. But so far from Stony Brook, I think this draft is a little bit more well-rounded. But if they get behind as far as they did last game, it might not make the biggest difference.
No, I don't have anything to say. I was right about a pick. Okay, I've proven my point.
True.
I don't have to say anything more.
Said
Everybody knows I'm a genius. Okay.
Fair.
But I'll indulge you. I will give you a little bit of insight from my 4 billion IQ brain. Absolutely looking at the draft here, it is going to be a bit of a mixed bag all around. Stony Brook's composition kind of screams to me, fight, blood.
Yeah.
But also in a little bit of a reserved way. Doesn't feel all in. I think they did a really good job of covering their weaknesses while supplementing their strengths, and that's exactly what you want in a good draft, while also remaining flexible to address the opponent's team's draft. Saints doing the same thing, and the Saints doing what they always do, looking intently at their monitors. They don't even care that they're on screen, but they definitely care that they're on the Rift. We're getting into Game 2. Stony Brook University versus the St. Clair Saints in the NACE Starleague. Let's get right into it, Job. And how are you expecting things to go out in the first couple of minutes of this game?
It is funny. This kind of feels like a if you can't beat them, join them kind of draft from Stony Brook. But all the champs are still pretty good. They have a little bit more defined, I guess, of roles this time. You're going to use that Shen. He has that universal ultimate. He can TP around. He can taunt those enemies, kind of lock them up for a second there. You got Ahri. You have decent CC chain with the Vi and the Ahri. Braum gives you a definitive front line because last time you were kind of banking on the Maokai, but he wasn't that tanky towards the end of the game, and Maokai inherently, yes, he's a little bit tanky, but he's not, he's not that tanky. He's still a little bit squishy with that right damage supplement. So a little bit better, I think, of a front-to-back draft. Definitely going to be a different look than what they were giving last time, but Lissandra plays very well into Ahri. We know that Thresh and Varus are a lethal combo. Basically, if Biscotti lands a hook on Jinx, that's probably going to be all she wrote, but that's why you have the Braum, to protect that Jinx at all costs.
And like you mentioned, the Shen being picked out as well. Jinx is never going to complain about being able to scream and somebody's going to be there to help you, guaranteed. And that's exactly what Shen brings to the table. Going to be able to always be there to support the Jinx, give a nice meaty shield as well. Plus, you already have Braum shield on top of it. It's just perfect, right?
Yeah.
And in the top lane as well, Ricky on his, like you said, iconic Darius with everybody's favorite.
This is probably his pick, Oh, this I have this skin too. This is the best Darius skin in the game. Ricky repeatedly uses the basketball one. You got to dunk on people. There's nothing better than crossing someone over and posterizing them in that top lane, especially with the solo kill. Hey, it's a solo kill. It's like someone driving down the lane and hitting a windmill on top of your head. So you got to always be mindful of the Darius. Again, one of those champs where it seems like you're winning fights sometimes, then he gets a bleed proc, and then you go, why am I dead? And why is he half health?
Yep, it's just
It's a lot of those top laners. So Fiora, Yasuo's a lot of guys where it's like, I'm winning, and I hard lost.
And I think that kind of complements Ricky's playstyle quite a bit. If I think about a single action or a single word that kind of summarizes this playstyle, it's surprise. He will always turn a situation against you in the least expected situations, and that's Darius' claim to fame. But in the bottom lane, hopefully Saints are able to turn this around in their favor with the gank coming out from Duality so early on in the game. They are going to do quite a bit of damage, but they are not going to get any kills there. Darius, Ricky's champion here, said it himself. He is ready to dunk, but not quite because he's not level 6, but he's just kind of getting himself hyped up.
Trying to get that early push, trying to get that farm lead, but at least for the bot side there, I really like that play out of Duality. Vi is one of those junglers. She wants to go for those early ganks. She wants to try to find those kills. Rock Boom had to burn both summoner spells, only that flash coming out of the Braum, I believe. Maybe that's an exhaust. It's hard to tell the icon there. Guessing it's going to be that flash, but the Saints now going to fight off this back foot. Basically for the side of Stony Brook, you have a very clear path to victory through the Jinx, but the top side dive comes very, very early. The damage, however, not going to be enough. No, he is going to burn the Ignite. I don't believe the Saints. Okay, yeah, Alonso did have to use a flash there, so they don't find the kill, but they're going to put more pressure on this top side. This is one of those games, right?
Oh, it is Alonso.
Yes, Ricky is technically the weak side. We're going to see a lot of times with this Darius, they're going to try to get Ricky ahead, try to get some gold, because it's a Darius. It's not a Scion. Ricky will be able to kill people when he gets the chance.
Absolutely. He is able to really nail you down, make you reconsider all of your life choices when you set foot in the top lane against him. If you do not put a stop to his tirade early, it might be too late to do anything about it when it really matters. That being said, though, they are going to be carefully allocating their resources and manpower across the map, not wanting to hard commit too much in any particular area because that just leaves gaps in your line. You do not want to have any openings or leave any chance for the opponent's team to kind of fill that gap with hatred,
Yeah.
right? You don't want to do anything like that. You want to play things carefully, but you still have to take risks somehow.
Yeah, and Stony Brook's comp is one that's going to play pretty well in the early game and the late game by one of the better early game junglers, and Jinx probably one of the better scaling ADCs in the entire game. I mean, once you get a kill at the end, you get 2 or 3 items, you start to find those resets, you run all over the rift. She's very, very hard to track down, even for someone like Biscotti, who seems to have heat-seeking hooks on every champ he plays. Ricky is going to get the bone plating pop, going to go for the trade, he's going to land the hook, trying to land that full combo. He's going to find that bleed proc, but that's going to be a dash to safety from Ray Leon. So a lot more action topside this game, and not too surprising considering the champ select.
Right, and again, just looking at the state of the game at the moment, we're looking at 0-0, 5 minutes in. We had a very close call on the top side. It really could have been anybody that fell, but nobody falling there. Vi and Maokai both just making their way around the map, carefully farming, carefully looking for any opportunities that they can find, and just taking, you know, map presence overall. Braum and Jinx are going to recall. Varus left to his own devices in the bottom lane. Things are getting a little bit active in the top lane. Ricky trying to just do a little bit of skirmishing, not going to go into tower, not going to commit too hard, but as soon as level 6 hits, Jobin, you know he's going to want to get something done.
Yeah, I have to be careful fighting this Shen, because he can hit you with that taunt. All of a sudden, you can't really attack for 2 or 3 seconds. You take a lot of damage back the other way, so something to always be mindful of. Ricky is going to be the first one to level 6, though, so not expecting a solo dive under tower, but he is going to have at least that slight lead, whether just in fear alone to keep that. It'll keep Shen honest there. Ray, though, he's going to hit level 6 there, too. Alonzo basically probably going to power farm to level 6 here, because when Maokai gets level 6, then the game kind of starts in the jungle. Ricky gonna get some nice little damage there. Hook is gonna get blocked up there. Akashi working in the mid lane with Alonzo.
Charms.
There's the charm, there's the dash, the combo. Alonzo's gonna be there to help, though. That is a great job to disengage. The ignite, though, the shield does come through just in time to save the Ahri. It's gonna be 2 summoners burned for Akashi, 1 for duality.
Wow, that was, I thought he popped barrier or something. I was like, did he really think barrier? But no, that was just Shen. He must have been like, help me, help me.
Yeah.
And then he just used the ultimate, and that
Good
saved
timing.
his life. Again, so close, but no kills just yet, but I spoke too soon. Ray is going to take down Akashi in the mid lane, and they want Alonzo next, but he's just a big tree. You can punch it all you want. This isn't Minecraft. It's not going to break.
Yeah, and that's what you have to do as Shen. You have to make sure you get yourself around the map. You're probably not going to outfarm Ricky in the top side. Yes, you could theoretically try to take fights with him, but that's not going to be the ideal situation fighting that Darius. You're always playing with fire just a little bit when you're taking those chances. So that is a great start for Stony Brook, though. Yes, they are a little bit behind in gold because of the farm factor here, but I mean, considering the last game, they couldn't really find a kill for the first 10-15 minutes of the game that meant anything. They're going to be in a much better spot in the early game, but it is a long game, and they got lots to do still. However, Flay Ignite and the E, I don't think they're going to be able to find the chaser because the minion wave, but
possible.
They're going to get a couple summoner spells out of there. Biscotti did pop the Ignite. They're maybe going to try to push your Brahma. There's the R from Biscotti. Oh, the hook, the chains of corruption. How about going down? And now they're going to focus their eyes on the Jinx. The Flay, the E. One more arrow to land. Not going to be found, but the Saints are going to get that kill right back, and it's going over to Rock Boom.
Wow, that was really quick, really intense play there on the bottom side, and it worked out in their favor. Duality just going to be doing what Duality can do. I'm just trying to say do as many times as possible.
The duality of man.
The duality of do is going to do what he can do in the do, but not going to be enough there. The Stony Brook are going to lose their bottom side to the plays from the Saints, but Saints are going to actually end up.
He ghosted. Oh, Ricky popped the ghost. He might go for the full combo, but Shen is going to be a hard target.
Flashes out just in time.
Yeah, 1 summoner apiece. That's not going to be the end of the world for Ricky. At least he does get that flash burn. But Stony Brook, very proactive. I'd love to see this early on. Yeah, you got that early buy. You got Braum to rotate. You're going to get pretty much a free dragon there. Flacco had that very slight XP lead, but Stony Brook right now, very good early game.
Top side, they're looking to take out the Herald.
Yeah. Usually you trade drag for Herald depending, because you're going to send 2 or 3 to the drag pit. And yeah, if you see someone take drag, it's a safe bet. The Rift is probably going to be safe.
Absolutely, yep. And yeah, they're going to just trade objectives. They traded kills, they traded objectives. They like sharing, right?
Yeah, apparently the Saints like sharing their blue buff because Duality just went and stole it. So Alonzo not going to have his blue buff on that side, but he is past that level 6 point now.
He borrowed it, by the way.
Yeah, it'll come back eventually. Yeah, it's like, you know, I pay you a bill 35, you give me a rack 80 later down the line. So it's one of those situations. Either way, though, Ricky's still doing a great job in the top side here, trying to get this consistent damage. Has a pretty significant farm lead for the 9-minute mark here. So the longer Ricky can keep this going, the more items he can get. This Darius is going to hit. I mean, look at the tower already. Jeez Louise.
Oh, my Lord.
I didn't realize he whacked it like that already.
this is what we've been saying for a long time.
Ooh,
that is a lot of damage. But like, if you commit all your resources into stopping Ricky, it doesn't matter because he's just gonna come back. He's gonna be playing a champion that's just gonna have the same impact no matter what. And if you don't, then your top laner is just not going to have a lot of space to really get anything done. He's such an oppressive player, and when they pick him an oppressive champion, especially one as oppressive as Darius, it's hard to play the game. Top side, they looked like they were going to try to commit something, but just going to
don't have a wave.
recall.
Yeah, if they had a minion wave, they might have tried it, but they don't. They would be eating a lot of tower shots, and if Ricky still has his flash up, which he does, they could end up going very, very sideways for what would be a 3v1. So they're still going to hover top. I would maybe expect to see Vi hang around till Ricky's back, but that would be a lot of wasted time. So he's going to go back to his camps, go get his own blue buff there. No more stealing away from Alonso there. Right now, though, bot lane, very back and forth. Rockboom with that ever so slight lead, but a much, much more even 10 minutes.
Absolutely. If you look back at the previous game, I think actually, well, I was about to say the CS gap between the ADCs aren't going to be as big, but they actually are quite.
See what I said though? Remember it was 50 and now it's 15 at 10 minutes. There's a vast difference from getting gapped in the farm.
There's a vast difference in your Shen being alive when Akashi shows up. Ricky doesn't even have to be here.
Ignite.
Alonso's here as well. Do you have to help him? Help me!
Full combo from the Shen. Luckily, Ricky's there to dunk on Shen there. Ray is going to go down. Saints, beautiful job to stop that dive. Akashi was playing quite literally with fire. Took that ignite. He has got to about maybe 50 to 100 HP there. He just gets away with his life. And if you're Stony Brook, that sucks. You did such a good job to set up top side. You came away with nothing. Ricky has that level 9.
Oh, the hook, Basketti.
The chains of corruption though. But that's the thing about Braum. He can block Rockboom's aura. He can block all these abilities. Keep that Jinx alive. However, Rockboom's still doing a ton of damage. They do get the cleanse and the flash from the Braum and the Jinx, so those are two massive summoner spells down now.
That's an interesting interaction. So I didn't know it worked that way. He got hooked, and everybody knows Thresh's hook is not an instant
can't
pull.
move.
So he landed the hook, but then Braum went between the hook and popped the shield, and that just
same if like Ari charms him with the shield, it doesn't actually get charmed. He just blocks it. That's why he's can be a very good, especially for someone like Jinx. You're protecting the hyper carry. It's like protect the president. You jump in front, you catch those strays.
I loved playing Braum when he came out and when I was playing the game actively. But I didn't like that interaction specifically. He walked in between. The chain was already on Jinx. He walked in between it.
Break the chain.
He broke the chain by raising the shield.
That's it. It's really cool. Mid-maxing plays these players. No, Ricky when he gets haunted, it's gonna pop the ghost though. The flash follow. He is gonna flash away. The vault breaker under tower though. Ricky's in a very bad spot.
Oh my God!
And that's Darius for you. Ricky's looking for a second. And he's going dunking. That's a 50 in the contest. He finds a double kill under tower. You mentioned it earlier. Just when you think Ricky LaFleur is dead and gone on the top side, a double kill on the dive under tower. That is exactly what we like to see from Ricky. And a nice little rocket past the ear. We'll see that one later. That top T1 is going to be down. Yeah, Ricky's going to have a nice little shutdown. But now this is a fed. Like I said, he was 20 HP. Dunks, refreshes to 30. Dunks again after a full combo. Ends up half healed. The tower's gone. And now Ricky is looking mighty strong. I don't think Flacco actually won.
Shen's coming in for a vengeance. He's
Ricky,
not going to be able to turn it around there.
That's a lot of gold to the Ari too. That's a big kill.
That actually might have worked out more in their favor. Realistically, it might have helped.
The double kill, yeah, if Ricky got one kill, it would have been a little bit better, but getting that double kill doesn't feel good. The Maokai are the chains of corruption, though. Braum trying to fire back to Lysandra. The E, the shots, the kill. Now it's going to be Duality trying to get out of dodge here, but Alonso's got eyes on him, and Basketti's got a hook to the back, and the Saints find yet another kill. A 4-man dive executed flawlessly.
Mr. President is safe and sound.
Yes.
Though, and that's really all you're looking at there.
I mean, yeah, yes and no, right? Yeah,
I mean, can't really farm or anything. Can't really get to the Oval Office. Can't really do any executive orders. But Flacco's trying to do his best to turn that around, throwing out whatever he can to push back Rockboom. He might go down. Alonso's there, but he's not going to be close enough to do anything about it.
Yeah, a little bit of gold over to the Jinx. So at least if you're Stony Brook, Silver Lining, the two people you probably want getting the gold for those kills got the gold and got the XP. So it is a Silver Lining. It is definitely a step in the right direction because letting those Saints go 3-4 for 0 is not a good strategy, Ray Leon. You're going to get out of there, buddy. Ricky LaFleur is going for that triple-double. He is trying to stun on this top side right now. And I mean, he's been doing a great job. Has that stride breaker already, those T2 boots. Just Saints right now, another clean early game. I was going to say, there should be another dragon up sooner or later, but it's going to be Stony Brook nice and early on this dragon again.
Yeah, they're not going to contest this one,
Nah,
but they might try
Biscotti's-
getting some kind of pickoff or anything.
No
from the
teammates are really
stragglers.
there.
Joker is low HP. They're out of the pit, but again, they're just not going to take the risk. They're going to play it safe. Stony Brook are going to have the objective advantage.
It's good for them.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of work around the map. Even if they're not going to be able to match the Saints in kills, they're definitely going to be matching them in the map play. They're going to be only about 5k behind, and that definitely could be worse. Again, they're 3 kills behind, so that gap realistically is not too bad, all things considered. And they are definitely making up for that gap with their play and doing what they can to set themselves up for success in the coming minutes.
Yeah, charm onto Alonso, but that is a Maokai. He's going to be able to tank that one under the tower. Flacco, that's what you got to do as Ahri, though. You have to constantly roam around the map, keep people guessing. If you farm away in mid lane, yes, she's great at it, but it's not the best value you can get out of Ahri. Ricky, going to go for the hook. Rayleon apparently does not want some, according
Don't
to
take a left turn,
Ricky,
buddy.
though. Ricky,
he took the left
for the
turn.
crossover. He took a left turn to Albuquerque, and there are a whack load of Saints waiting for him. There's the knockback, the flay, the combo.
So tanky,
he is
though.
going to flash over the wall to
Missed
safety. Biscotti just misses that hook. It's a good flash from Ray, though. It is going to be that Rift Herald over to the Saints. So listen, the kill would have been great. They wanted the Rift Herald, and they're going to get it for their trouble.
Absolutely. Again, just going to trade objectives, but Akashi's going to do his best to trade HP without giving anything in return.
Everything.
Dodges everything there, throwing out as much damage as he can. Just says, Ahri, I don't like you, and I want the world to know. Get out of my lane.
Yeah, this Jinx right now takes down that tower as well, so she's starting to get some money in her back pocket, which is exactly, I mean, if there's one person on Stony Brook you want to be rich as a you-know-what, Jinx wants all that money. You want to get to that 2-3 item spike. That way she can really start to take the game over. As long as she gets that protection from Braum, though, Jinx is going to be the catalyst.
Lane. He's recalling to bait, maybe.
Lissandra is a little bit tricky to gank unless he pops
Baiting.
that R, the Vault Breaker.
Oh, he
the
missed the
Everfrost combo, though. The Saints are here. The Maokai R might be a little bit slow, but Akashi's got the stopwatch. Alonso trying to work the back.
The lantern.
That is a lot of damage. The lantern saves him. The hook is going to be good. The cleanse answers, but Akashi's not done yet. The flay, the combo, the damage. It's going to be a kill to Alonso, a kill to Akashi. That is a whole lot of dead Stony Brook members. It's all on Ray to try to work this 1v3. Jinx working the back line. That's going to be another kill to Alonso. And Joker, he played a pretty good team fight, got a ton of damage in, but could not find a kill to get the reset, and the Saints completely clean house.
That is why Thresh is so cool, dude.
He's one of the coolest supports in the game, and I'm happy that he's good right now, because he's a very high skill-stealing champ, but he's so cool, and he's so good when
so
piloted
much
right.
flexibility, so much versatility to a team composition.
A clutch lantern is as good as it gets in like watching a league fight. It's the best.
It lets champions who are squishy, vulnerable.
That's why Jinx usually plays with Thresh.
High reward, play like they're the most mobile, safe champions of the world. But it is not easy to execute in the fights. It requires so much coordination. Just tell my bronze games. Okay? I've played
lantern guys.
I was in the trenches. I was throwing out lanterns to guys who are at 10 HP, and they just look at me as if I don't even know, as if I'm a delivery driver on a Sunday morning, and they didn't order anything, and they just woke up at 6 a.m. I don't know what's happening. They're just looking at me as they're confused. But Akashi was so low there, and Biscotti was there. Instantly takes the land.
Yeah, it was that stopwatch from Akashi too. Not a moment too soon. That commencing stopwatch ends up paying massive dividends. Now you have the Maokai at 2-0-5, and yeah, just like how Jinx Thresh is good, that's why Varus is great too. Varus is immobile as hell, but you can get back to your teammates. You can consistently find that poke damage. The Saints right now working for bot side control of this jungle. Probably trying to at least start to deny this next Drake. It is going to be that Mountain Drake, which is a very, very solid one. Gives you some AP and some shielding, so getting that Mountain Soul as well definitely would help Stony Brook if they were to get to Soul Point. But right now, they have to stop this mid lane shove from the Saints. They're looking for something.
Yeah, they are absolutely just hostile takeover. This spot of the map is ours
They have every ultimate. The Saints are going to look for a play.
You are no longer welcome here. Flacco is going to be deterring Ricky in the bottom lane, but the rest of the Saints are going to be moving through the jungle, seeing what they can find. Right now, they're not going to find too much. They are going to make a play to the top side, it seems, sending up Akashi. Maybe someone else is going to be there, reconvening there, maybe to help them out.
Yeah, they'll go Shadow, just to catch the wave at least. You want to keep those towers alive as long as possible. I will say, though, if Akashi can get a nice angle on the Shen here, Rayleon might not be in the best of situations. It is Shen, though, so he's going to have a decent ability to trade and get out of here. There's the R from Akashi, though. Ray is going to block that one up. He is going to run to safety there. Actually, I'm not sure if Akashi actually did pop the ultimate there. Sometimes the HUD takes a second or two, but either way, he's going to try to shove this way back and at least control this tower. The rest of this Stony Brook team clumped up toward mid right now, but there is a dragon on the horizon, and I suspect both teams would like to play for it, but Stony Brook has to fight their way out of the jungle first, and those Maokai saplings.
They're doing such a great job of playing into my commentary. I remember at the start of the broadcast today, I mentioned how important certain timings are, and the Saints are demonstrating how they play with that in mind. As soon as the timings call for it, they immediately make the play and start taking over the bottom half of the map because they've been giving up all these dragons. They don't want to give up any more. They've gotten every Rift Herald so far. They don't want to keep giving things away for free, and they want to contest it, and this is exactly how you go about contesting things correctly. Although Vi could be vulnerable to getting pincered here if Ricky decides to stop
Flacco!
Too low HP.
Bleed proc.
Bleed out.
Proc. Oh, Ricky LaFleur finding different lanes to go solo kill. He said, I'll come to the bot lane. I'll take you on, Ari. Ari, theoretically more mobile, but Ricky hits a whole lot harder. Now Akashi going to try to find some poke to stop these recalls. Is going to do... Oh, the Jinx going to get blocked up by the Braum there, so Nice Guy is going to get his bone plating taken because of it. Ricky, he is an absolute problem this game right now.
He has been such a threat. Can you just imagine what's going on in your head?
We haven't seen a nice carry. Like, Ricky usually plays really well, but we haven't seen him play a carry champ in a while, and it's kind of refreshing. Usually the other four guys do a phenomenal job of carrying, finding the kills, helping out Ricky find that CC chain, but now put him on the Darius, let him flex just a little bit for us.
And he is definitely flexing. Even with his recall animation, he's flexing. Yeah. He's just showing you how good he is at landing those dunks. But again, it's just... There's so much that goes into this game, but a lot of it is mental, and a lot of it is technical. I mean, that's why we have to pause here.
There is always the technical aspect of League of Legends. I hear somebody hit a stopwatch or is hitting a recall because there is a nice little humming in my ear. It's very angelic, very, very peaceful.
Very pleasant. Doesn't make me want to, you know, hit my head or anything.
No, of course not. But either way, though, see a quick look at the guy. I mean, it's a tech pause. There's not really a whole lot you're going to do.
Are you sure? Because Maddie looks very intently focused on something.
Well, he took the sunglasses off, that's why. For game 2, he's like, okay, no shades for game 2. I'm going to keep him off. We're going to run this one normal. Oh, yeah, Maddie's not even playing.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm so confused as to why he's looking so intent.
I wish he had the sunglasses on just staring at the camera for these breaks. Just, like, up right in the zoom, up close to his face.
He looks kind of scared.
He's processing the game.
Yeah, he's analyzing. He's just
to be fair, not a ton for the Saints to really have to download and process this game. They've played pretty clean once more. Stony Brook did a fantastic job getting those early dragons, trying to control that early game objectives. But you have the Jinx at hyperscales. The Saints have had a fantastic mid game, though, and you have a fed Darius to deal with, and that might be a little bit tricky.
Absolutely. As you can see there, they're kind
of and get out of the shot every time this guy. Every single time. Yeah, that's Valorant Manager Owen. That's Hybrid. Yada, yada, yada.
We get it. We all love him, though.
You know him, you like him, or you don't.
Again, he's basically married to the camera at this point.
Okay, I will say, he does give us, like, the best on-camera content for the most part, but listen, the League of Legends guys are about to get back into a game. I hope. To be fair, though, I actually think we will throw it to a very, very quick break just in between here.
Oh, Glass is back.
Try to get things sorted. Oh, perfect before we go to the break. Maddie hits us with a dab. We're going to send it off for a couple minutes, so we'll catch you guys back in just a few. And welcome back to the action. Nice little view. Hopefully you got to see Maddie put on the glasses and dab one time for him. You know, Alonzo, those two junglers have been playing in and out this entire split. They both played phenomenally. Similar champs, different champs. They have a very diverse pool all themselves. The Saints right now, very strong mid-game. Baron is up right now. If they decide to want to try to make a play for it, having that Maokai R is the ultimate anti-zoning tool to try to get this Baron pit opened up. It's at least going to be that fight for vision in this top side jungle. Akashi always looking to make a play. That Lissandra trying to see if he can get some poke over onto the Ari. Nothing to materialize off that one, but the Saints, like I said, topside vision, getting ready for the Baron, or at least to shove in this topside wave.
And it might not look like it, but I assure you, Shen is here. He's just not here yet, okay? He can teleport at any point.
Yes, that's why, yes, Shen, you just go shove bot lane, and when we need you, we'll call you.
Exactly. And he will come in style and in grace as he gives you a nice hug, a nice giant unbreakable
Shen is
shield.
super cool.
Yeah, he's one of my
he's
favorites.
really, really hard to
Cool.
play, really tricky, but he's a super unique and super interesting champ. However, Darius is a pretty unique champ doing that. He can full combo an Ari in about 2 seconds there. He's going to get hit with the Vault Breaker and the Q, the W, and everything's going against Ricky right now. The Jinx rockets are flying, but Ricky ends up with a kill out of it. The dive back onto him. Akashi blows up Ray. Oh my goodness, Stony Brook. You reached your hand into the cookie jar, and you got slapped around in the top side jungle. That's a 22-minute Baron. That is an ace. That was a violation against Stony Brook. And the Saints right now, I mean, Ricky was dead to rights, ends up with, I believe, 2 kills, full HP, and the Saints only had to use Ricky's Flash Ghost and Rock Boom's heal.
Oh wow, I'm at a loss there. I was honestly completely taken by.
Ricky is up 4K gold.
Oh my god. What is happening?
This is that solo queue Darius where you're like, boys, we need to stop this. The only problem is there's a fed Akashi and there's a fed Alonso. Also, like, Rockboom is the one having the quote-unquote quiet game. He's 2-1-4 with 3 items, and he's having the quiet game.
That is just remarkable. The state of the game right now for the Saints is just completely flipped on its head. It was leading up to it. They were right at the cliff.
It was close.
Stony Brook was right at the cliff there, but then in that last, like, 30 seconds,
that extra step off.
They just pushed him over.
Yeah, that's it. It was a step. They said, hey, look down there, and they shoved him off the top, basically. Just completely stomped him in that jungle. And that's one of those fights for Stony Brook. It's not a game ender, but I'll tell you what, the game was in tow. Now you have a lot of work. Basically now, you wait for Jinx to get 4 or 5 items, try to get this Ari fed, and that's going to be your best chance. But the Saints don't want to give him the chance. They're going to go for the engage. They're going to put that pressure on. There's that Maokai from Alonso. They do not want to go. Yeah, that Braum, though, that's going to be that one member. A little bit trickier to kill than the others. Alonso, take that lantern back to safety. You know, Maokai's need lanterns too.
Oh, yeah. And in that fight,
Flacco, whoa, that is an aggressive play from Stony Brook. There's the Super Mega Death Rocket. It's going to end up finding the kill. Rockboom's going to fall. That is a full combo from Stony Brook.
I did not see that.
That is a 5-man fiesta in the mid lane. And for your Stony Brook, that is the kind of play you have to make. Screw the Baron buff. Go take that 5v1. Oh, the hook
across the wall.
Beautiful job by Ray to go tether back to that sword, though. Avoids the hook from Biscotti. The Saints, though, now playing from the wrong side of the rift, but they still might have the damage to find these kills.
The Stony Brook says, we don't care if you're coming from behind.
Well, they might care soon.
They are taking so much damage, but they're pouring out just
Look at the damage.
Ricky, stop! You can't do this to them. It's cruel. Joker's the last one standing. He wants the penta, but he's gonna get out. He does not have a flash. Oh, that was scary. Okay.
We haven't seen a Ricky Penta in quite some time, and I would love if he can find this
no,
Jinx.
no.
The blast cone, the blast cone.
Okay.
Biscotti, though, they have to get the kill before
no,
it's
happening.
This is a play. They're going to go for the combo.
Ricky,
Joker,
you earned
Penta
it.
kill for Ricky LaFleur. It's been a long time, buddy, but you finally got the Penta. A beautiful job, a classic signature Darius performance. Shout out to the squad facilitating those kills. I mean, Stony Brook, it was honestly a fantastic dive, but Ricky was slapping them around with that goalpost, and now they're going to find a second dragon, and at this point, Stony Brook, you're praying for a miracle.
I think Ricky gets to go in the LBA Hall of Fame for that one. League Basketball Association.
Listen, that was Jordan LeBron, whatever you want to call that. That's exactly what that was.
Well, what exactly that was flawless. You picked Darius. Tell me, Jobin, is there anything more you want out of your Darius besides being 25 minutes into the game, being 15K?
15K gold at 25 minutes is bananas. The CS is still
more CS.
The CS is still. He's been consistently CSing. He's got the stone plate.
Do hero kills count as CS?
No.
Okay.
They count as he has a 700 gold shot. That tells you he's killed a lot of people. 700 gold is the most you can get for a shutdown. That is a 1,000 gold kill on Ricky. But the problem is they thought they killed Ricky 2 or 3 times now, and every single time it's those dunk resets, man.
It's just
it's the putback, it's the windmill, it's the 360.
It's just what are you supposed to do?
You pray. That's the thing. They landed full. They did a ton of damage. It's that second wave of cooldowns of engagement, though, and Darius is always going to win those engagements. I mean, the level. Let's just look
no!
Forget dives. Let's just take a look at the level. Nah, poor minion, poor caster minion. I was saying, just the level difference alone. Rockboom's up a level. Akashi's up 2 levels. Alonso's up a level. Ricky's up 3.5 levels, basically. And he's looking to maybe find that kill onto Ray. Right now, this is a, like, no pun intended, a slow bleed for Stony Brook.
Nice. But it's just remarkable, again, how quickly the game has been changing and turning on
Ray.
Head of a coin. Ray. He might be going to the bank here. Full stacks. Dunk comes through, but healed the last possible moment. He's not going to get the reset.
Ricky lives
but
this.
he is going to be able to walk out scot-free.
Got the Ghost reset.
Oh,
that's why Ghost is so good. You pop Ghost, find a kill, get the reset. You can keep running around. He may have popped that mid-fight, actually. Didn't even need that one. The Saints, Biscotti is, he is surveying the land here. He is trying to find an unsuspecting victim to drag into that wall and full combo with this Maokai R. Going to try to ping down the Ahri there. The hardest target there. Ricky, he's got low health. He ate that Jinx W. Yeah. The Saints, though, it's going to be this.
He's charging in.
It's the mid lane seeds. The Everfrost, he's going to flash to safety. The Super Mega Death Rocket is not going to do a single thing as far as damage. The Saints are keeping the tower siege going. Honestly, just playing that macro game, trying to play this lead. And right now, Stony Brook. I said it earlier, but 2 miracles, 3 miracles, faith. You need all of it.
It's just the privileges that this champion has is unreal. Not a lot of top laners
He's
can be
12-1 at 27 minutes. Good
quarter
Lord.
HP, just walking into the enemy base.
Reset. Yeah, because like, if he finds 1 dunk, he's resetting on all 4 of the other members. So
honestly, I think if he got that dunk,
probably would have kept going.
He
would have.
Stony Brook might actually be done.
He would have got. It would have been GG probably. If one member of Stony Brook dies, the game is probably going to be over. The waves are at a.
Depending on how they die. Right?
Depends the waves. Yeah, true. The waves are also not in like the best spot for the Saints to instantly walk this one. And the mid lane's in a pretty good spot. Ricky is working on that bot side, keeping that CS number as high as possible. Rockboom, they're going to give him the double buffs, make this Varus pack a little more of a wall up there as he continues to build to those full items. It's going to be a Baron in 12 seconds, and honestly, on the backside of this Baron, this would be the win angle, I believe, for the Saints. Unless they just want to, circumvent that and go for the fight, which Biscotti might want to do. Going to land the hook, going to land the flay. The combo, the follow-up, though, Akashi's getting right in there. Yeah. Oh, my damage, the exhaust. Good Lord. That is a big damage. Akashi pops the stopwatch. Rockboom takes down Joker, and it's all over but the laughing. Akashi takes down him, and now it's going to be the Saints eyeing up this base and this Nexus. Why not one more for Ricky? Padding the stats as he sees fit. It's all on the Braum and the Ahri. Can you find some way to extend the game? I have a spoiler, though. It's more than likely going to be a resounding no.
Yeah, but I don't think it's much of a spoiler. If you read the first chapter of this manga, you've basically seen the ending of it. It's just quite desolate for Stony Brook, and it's just unfortunately how it looked like they were turning the game around.
It was a great early game. Yeah. Besides the 2K golden kills, it was a really good early game.
And then they were turning it around, especially they got that mid pick off earlier in the game after they got the wipe, but then they just got completely demolished. The Saints playing so expertly, doing everything they needed to do to get things under wraps. Absolutely well played, absolutely damn near perfect execution, but just not exactly enough. Stony Brook is going to fall slightly short as the Saints take the series 2-0, Jobin.
Yeah, and game 2, less dominating than game 1, at least to some degree. Honestly, though, good for Ricky, man. He's been stuck on these tank champs, and it's kind of just the way the meta of League has been. Unless you play something like the Olaf, which usually gets banned, Jax has been super busted, so he's been getting banned out even before the Ricky pick. It's so good to see him get a carry champ. Us hype up that it's his carry champ, and we get delivered a pentakill on the backside of a beautiful job. It's always seeing a pentakill, especially in collegiate competitive, is always so good. But actually, we're going to throw it to a very quick 30-second break. We're going to get Ricky and Akashi over here on the desk. They had two fantastic games, very special treat. We'll catch you guys back in 1 or 2.
Stay tuned. Ladies and gentlemen, wow. That's all I can say right now. Wow, that was an astonishing series. And thanks to these two gentlemen we have at the desk, for the first time in quite a while, we have some lovely Saints players here to entertain me and Jobin, and as well the audience at home. We're going to give them a chance to tell us the story of the Rift from their perspective. Gentlemen, I'm going to ask the most generic question that everybody always asks, but we're just going to ask it just get you guys a little bit eased in to begin with. How are you feeling?
I'll let you start, Akashi.
We're feeling good. We've been practicing for the past month, and now we're seeing results, so we're glad. This is going pretty well. What about you, Ricky?
Yeah, Ricky.
I would have to agree. I think we're working towards top 32. That's always been our goal. That's always going to be our goal. And I think we're making a lot of progression these last couple weeks, more specifically in the last week itself. But yeah, that's what we're looking forward to, and we've been doing great so far.
Yeah, and like Akashi was saying, you guys have been putting in so much work to make things, very cohesive, things work together, and it definitely shows on the Rift, especially how unified you guys play and how everything kind of blends together, completely goes in one singular flow. It doesn't really seem like there's ever communication issues, or are there? What is it like when you guys are playing out there? What are the things that you guys sometimes have issues with, and what are the things that you guys feel like you do the best?
I would say that you look at any team, there's always going to be conflicts and calls, regardless. So I'd say one of our biggest strengths is mechanical prowess, and where we get lost a lot is that we overstep our mechanics and we try to make a play that should never be made.
Too confident.
Yeah, that's where I think is our biggest mistake, but that's what we've been trying to work on, right? So moving forward, that's what we want to do, is work on that.
Yeah, I was going to ask one thing too. Just going back to, I guess, what's one thing? You guys have been a pretty consistent team all semester, but it feels like you said, the last couple weeks have really clung together. Is it just working on that team fighting, or is it maybe there hasn't really been a massive meta shift, but is it having the deep champ pool definitely helps? But has there been one thing that stuck with that you guys are okay, we really have this thing down, or just what has been the reason that you guys have been so cohesive the last little while? It seems.
I think the team started trusting me more. So I've been shot calling for the past 3 years, and I needed that trust, and I earned it. I hope I earned it. For
you seem trustworthy. I don't know why they wouldn't trust you.
I would trust them.
In game. So now that they trust me, and I'm the main shot caller for the team.
Oh, okay.
Our synergy is getting way better. I can see the whole map. I can call the sides. I can call when to team fights and when to not, and when to play macro and when to play micro plays, and it's going really well. We still have a lot of way to get there, but I believe in my team, and we're gonna get there.
One thing I want to touch on is I think a big part of our success recently has been working with a coach that we've recently brought on, Halir. He's done wonders for us. He's been really helping us with drafts, and I think our gameplay as a whole has been improving since bringing him on. So
yeah, that's why I say it was noticeable, because especially in even in this series and last, you can tell you guys are more willing to go for coordinated dives. Everything looks a lot more buttoned up, even when things aren't looking right. Stony Brook had a couple times where they got a 4v1 engage, and you guys were somehow able to get on there, help the team out. Whether it was, to be fair, you were kind of getting ganged up on 80% of that game. You walked away with a 2v1, I think a 4v1 at one point, almost just I guess having that trust definitely shows that you guys are coming together, and again having that variety of champs you guys can play, definitely going to help that as well. But go a little fun thing. What's one funny memory or one funny thing people wouldn't know that has happened with the team, or just a funny story from this semester?
Oh boy, let me think. If you have one. I have a couple from last semester that are pretty good.
I'll take anything.
Last semester, let me think. When we were in Philadelphia, we were going to the what's that place called? The LAN event itself, right?
Oh yeah.
And a bunch of people were walking. I actually wasn't present for this, but I heard the story from a lot of people, which sucks. I missed this. We all walked to the building, and everyone was lost. Nobody could find the building. Turns out the building was just a huge office space in just one little room. So people were walking around Philly just for an hour and a half trying to find the venue. And when we should have been scrimming, we had time to scrim, and we were just enjoying Philly's views, I guess, downtown.
Sounds like you were lucky to miss that, if anything.
Yeah, I'm glad, but yeah.
I guess one last thing. I guess I kind of have an idea of what your expectations are for the year, but final expectations for the year, and I guess maybe if you need to do anything to make sure you go achieve those expectations, I'm guessing it's going to be a high CLOL finish. You want to make it as far in that, but what is like the one final goal or expectation the team has for the season?
Win CLOL.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I think if we're all disciplined and we put work on this kind of stuff, I think it's not even out of reach.
Yeah.
Like I didn't come from Morocco to lose. You know, I'm gonna win it for sure.
Listen, I love the confidence, and I guess give a quick little plug here. This guy Ricky just hit Challenger a couple days ago, and Akashi, I know you're trying to go on that stream grind, trying to hit rank 1 in NA, so got to give a little plug there as well. Got to support the guys, and you know they're great on the Rift together, but solo queue they're also pretty damn good as well. So it's good to see that variety from you guys, and honestly, just good luck with everything as well.
Thank you very much, Jobin. Thank you. Thanks for having us as well.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
We love League,
guys. Oh yeah, we love it, and it's always a pleasure bringing our players to the forefront because there's so much personality going on behind the scenes, and we're so glad we're able to bring it to the spotlight. Literally, we have a lot of lights in this room right now. You might not have seen them at all.
No lights and a lot of lights at the same time.
It's a weird little dynamic we have going on, but nonetheless, it's been an absolute pleasure, gentlemen. Thank you very much for joining us, and thank you very much for the exhilarating game, and thank you very much for that pentakill.
Hey, that's my job, right? That's my job.
How did that go? Like, what's going on in
Listen,
your head there?
I will say one last thing. More carry champs for you, man. I'm done with the tanks. I know with the meta, like, I know the carry champs. It's tough to play Olaf and
top
I know it's tough, right?
Top lane's a bad role, Jobin. I've said it a million times.
I played a lot of Tide.
It's just a bad role right now.
I know.
Before we head out, though, do you have anything you want to say to the fans at home? Anything you want to say to anybody, loved ones, anything? What do you have to say?
I would love to thank my fans and my family that supported me all the way. Wait, what?
No, don't worry about the TV. Don't worry about the TV.
First.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I would love to thank all my fans, my family, my wife, and my friends that supported me all the way from Morocco through my whole career to get here. And I won't disappoint you through my journey. And I will make it. And you should trust me more. Just give me confidence. Just motivate me. I'm gonna make it.
Listen, wise words from the man. I definitely trust him. It's always good to see that as well. But Ricky, any last words? Or
shout out to my mother, man. My mother put me here. My mother did everything in my life for me. I owe everything to her.
Nice parting words from the guys. But with that being said, we're going to not throw it to a break. We're going to close things off for the night. Thanks to Ricky and Akashi once more for the big plug. And then, once again, Ricky, fresh challenger. Akashi, go peep his stream. He's trying to get to rank 1 on that NA leaderboard. We got to number 2 before, right?
I'm number 20 now, and I've been sitting on rank 1 for a week.
Okay, so yeah, this guy, definitely keep the people. What's the Twitch plug one time before we leave?
Akashi 10 TV.
All right, perfect. So that being said, though, we're going to leave it off with that. Go check these two out on Twitter, Twitch, wherever else. But the League team played a phenomenal series today. They got their eyes set on CLOL and big matches later down the year. It's a good time to get that team built together. We're going to have everyone have a good night. Enjoy your Tuesday. Take care and have a good one.